bro, you need to put together a great show from start to finish so the people that come this week to watch the anniversary show, you will hook them to come back next week and the week after that and the week after that. But Chris, we've seen this so many times. They don't do that.
No. Hello, everybody.
Come on, bro. You didn't tell me to bring mine, bro. I mean, Chris has a paintbrush and a little paint gimmick. I don't have that.
And a color palette.
Oh, man, bro.
I hope your day is doing well. If your day is not going well, be sure to beat the devil out of it. Yes, indeed.
That is awesome. Very nice.
How are you, Vince?
I am all right. How are you, Doc?
I'm well, man. So I don't know how well the people in the WWE is, but in the midst of all of this going on the past few days, there is a flagship show called WWE RAW that's been going on for 30 years now, as of January the 11th. 30 years. So you were very, very pivotal in a chunk of those years when it comes to the highest ratings of WWE. And 25 years or so later, after your big influence, now they're celebrating the 30th year. All that's being shrouded by what's going on now. There have been appearances by, as far as promoted appearances coming up by Kane and Sean Waltman. We've talked about Waltman as far as, where do we go from there? But Vince, you were super pivotal and super instrumental in Waltman and Kane's influence in the WWE during the Attitude Era. Why are you going to the well to promote the 30th anniversary of Raw? Now, I know that you're going to have a bunch of, the cycle of legends that come in just about every single time. But what's going to make the 30th anniversary of Raw more intriguing than every other Legends show that WWE has?
Chris, you know what I don't understand? This really bothers me because, Chris, I would have never, ever done that while I was writing, because they're looking at a special show like this completely different than I'm looking at a special show like this. Here's what they're looking at, bro. They're looking at popping a number that night.
Of course.
Bro, what difference does it make if you pop a number that night and right back to where you were the following week? I don't understand that logic. Yeah. My whole thing was, when we knew we were going to do a big show like this, Chris, the idea was, bro, you need to put together a great show from start to finish so the people that come this week to watch the anniversary show, you will hook them to come back next week and the week after that and the week after that. But Chris, we've seen this so many times. They don't do that. No. They have they do all their backstage skits. There'll be an in-ring with DX or whatever they're going to do. Nothing goes into next week. The show is the same show. They're not shooting a big angle. And the following week, they're right back. I don't understand that philosophy, Chris.
Especially going to the Royal Rumble, which is the kickoff to WrestleMania. Why would you have... I'm hoping that they have something that carries on to Royal Rumble and eventually WrestleMania. All these one-off just ratings pop shows, they just really lead to nothing, man. If you had the books to book the 30th Raw of the 30th anniversary of Raw, what particular people, say for instance, let's just for topical sakes say that Waltman and Kane are confirmed. Say they bring Triple H in, Shawn Michaels in, Road Dogg will be there. Just say those names. Maybe even Taker. Who would you use to put someone in the current roster over, and how would you draw this out more than just a one-night show?
Well, if it were me realistically, bro, looking at things realistically, the guy would be Waltman. Because for a couple of reasons, bro, they haven't really done anything with him. You know, bro, let's face it, Shawn Michaels ain't doing nothing. You know, Triple H ain't doing nothing. Kane ain't doing nothing. Road Dogg would probably do something, but, you know, I think, you know, X-Pac is in a lot better shape than Road Dogg, you know, and without Billy, it's not the same. You know, that's an act. Yep. So to me, it would really be Sean Waltman, bro. And, you know, again, you and I have talked about this a little bit, bro. You know, what about one last match? What about I still got a little gas at the tank? Put me in that Royal Rumble and I'll put myself. I swear to God, bro, like, honestly, if they use somebody on that show that's there for the anniversary and they roll that over into an angle, I would be absolutely shocked. I mean, just absolutely shocked. And then, Chris, it's like you ask yourself, like, why not, bro? Like, give me a reason why you want that. You want to get Austin Theory over, put Sean Waltman with Austin. I don't understand the why nots, bro. Yeah. You know,
I think it would be really interesting. Like you said, we've talked about this before, but even to add more layers to it, I would be really interested if it was a United States Championship match, you know, between Theory and Waltman at WrestleMania. I mean, why not? You know, I mean, why not? You know, it makes sense for Waltman to have, you know, a mid-card championship match. Don't put him in a main event. You know, just give him that mid-card championship match. Who else on the current roster would make sense or be more intriguing for a U.S. title match at WrestleMania than Sean Waltman?
And, bro, you know, a guy like Sean Waltman, you know he's going to commit to it. You know he's going to be in the best physical shape he can possibly be in. I don't know why not, Chris. They've got – you and I talk about this all the time. Bro, they've got nothing going on. So even if they could get something going on between now and the Rumble – they gotta get something going on, bro.
Yeah, I just don't see why. Like, okay, it makes sense. Kane, he had an very integral part in the match, and if they do those one-off, just kind of, you know, pops, I get it. I understand when it comes to reunion shows. You know, they have reunion concerts all the time too. I get it. But at the same time, leave us wanting more. Leave us at the end of the show wanting more, and not just the last time we talked about something like this. They were promoting DX to be on the show, and there was nothing that came out of that whole segment or that show. It was just DX celebrating at the end. The next week, it was completely forgotten.
Chris, you know what it is, bro? You and I don't know if, bro, it's Sportskeeda, so I hope people don't get pissed off when we make the sports comparisons. Yeah. Chris, you know what it's like? Bro, it's like you and I know darn well, you know, whether it's professional football or college football, bro, when a mediocre team is on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Bro, you know they play balls to the wall because they know we're on a national. People are going to see us, bro. If we want to be on Monday, Monday Night Football more, we need to. You know, bro, they are so hyped for that game. Yeah. This every time they do something like this, bro, it is the opportunity to turn the tide.
Yep.
And that's how they should go into it, man. Let's throw the kitchen sink, man. Let's do everything we can. And the goal should be we got to bring them back next week.
Yeah, to your point, you know, I'm a big college football fan, and like you said, hey, sports comparisons on Sportskeeda, by the way. Right. And Sportskeeda covers all sports. This is just the wrestling department of Sportskeeda. Right. But you know, I'm a college football fan, and that's my number one sport. And so Saturday night is like the pinnacle for college football. It is the prime time slot to be in for college football teams. 8 o'clock, the 8 o'clock prime time Saturday night spot. there's not a lot of people who get that spot every single week. Same thing with College Game Day. They pick, the particular game that they're going to be at, usually the week of, based on what's the hottest game of the week. So for those who follow Pat McAfee from SmackDown to College Game Day, you see him every single week on College Game Day at the hottest game of the week, typically.
Right.
And so basically a lot of that College Game Day, they have that primetime game. And so the thing is, you don't want to lay an egg, especially if you usually don't get that primetime spot and you have an opportunity to have that primetime spot. You laying an egg is the national audience looking at you as a team and saying, who's that? I don't know. I don't really watch their stuff because they're not really aired nationally as much. But I'm looking at them now and I'm like, it doesn't seem like they're as good as they're hyped up to be. So you want to lay everything on the table because this could be your only shot for the national audience to see you.
Chris, you just said something so interesting there, and think about this for a second. I love the phrase you use, laid an egg. Mm-hmm. And bro, there's a lot of pressure. We don't want to lay an egg, but the reality of it is, bro, this is a real game.
For
and
sure.
You could play like crap.
Absolutely.
And if you play like crap, you're going to lay an egg. Yeah. Bro, how do you lay an egg if you're the WWE? You're writing this show. Right. You are writing this show. This isn't like, oh, bro, this can go either way. No, you're writing the show. Yeah. You're preparing the show. Yeah. 1,000%. We're not going to lay an egg. We're going to knock it out of the ballpark. But I mean, Chris, please correct me if I'm wrong. Every time we see one of these, it seems like just another show.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing when it comes to the anniversary show. I'm just, I remember back in the day, man, when I was a fan, in high school in the 90s, and I was just excited about cliffhangers and I was excited about shows that were being promoted for the next week. There's nothing that really gives me excitement. And I'll say this, I'll continue to say this. I know you don't watch SmackDown, but I'll continue to put SmackDown over. SmackDown's a solid show. I enjoy watching SmackDown. For the most part, I typically don't ever watch it live. I mean, probably 1 out of 100 shows I watch live. But when I watch it, I can fast forward it, some spots. So I understand that, and I enjoy it. And plus, it's only 2 hours compared to 3. It doesn't drag so much. But for Raw, though, there's nothing sequential. There's no continuity there. There's nothing there that I've told you this before. I can stop watching Raw, pick it up about 2 months later, and I'm still going to see Judgment Day come out, segment 1. Segment 3 is Damage Control. Segment 6 is something dealing with the Miz TV. It's just that same formulaic stuff that we see every single week. How is this 30th anniversary going to, it could potentially, be a launch pad to something Rumble related, something WrestleMania related. But do you think that Triple H even has that in mind to make this a launch pad? Or do you think that Triple H is just saying this is just going to be a one-off?
I think that's the attitude and the mentality, bro. It's just going to be a one-off. I really believe that.